Tonight, Jeffrey Epstein's death and our Muslim representatives in Congress, Representative Tlaib and Omar. Welcome to the Gene and AJ podcast show. Tonight we'll have myself, AJ, and Gene with special guest Brian from Georgia and also from Virginia, Preacher. I want to tell you there's more to come. This is a test podcast on a conference call. I want to say more to come. Sub us, comment, thumbs up, and spread the news to all that'll listen. And with the show already in progress, I was asking Preacher about Jeffrey's death.
All right, on Epstein, my personal opinion, to be flat out honest, I'm 50-50 on it still. Because, I mean, it is quite possible that Epstein himself could have got his lawyers to pay off them guards to sleep for a few hours, hang himself and everything. He had the money to do it. There's already evidence that they said he was paying off people's books in jail, paying off their commissary and stuff like that just to keep people off his back, you know. I mean, I've been to jail myself before, and it's a depressing place. And when you're going in there for something what he was going in for, in a real prison.
What do you think about the sheet deal where he said he took his sheet and he'd just been out a week out of lockup for suicide watch, and the dude in there that was with him, they put him in a cell first when he had the marks on his neck first time. He was a 3-time convicted cop killer. And then the second time, you know, they said they didn't have anybody. Then they came back and said, yeah, he had a cellmate. He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I saw pictures of the dude, man. I mean, I wouldn't want to get into a fight with him.
I wouldn't put him in for my cellmate. I'd be screaming, saying he's raping me or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, I never got raped in jail, but I know some guys who did.
Neither did I, but yeah. I know some guys, I seen them get pushed in a room. Most of them were like kid-like, though, and some of them wanted it, so, you know.
Well, Epstein, I kind of expect him to be a big softy anyway because he's just used money for everything, and on the inside, that don't really count for nothing.
Well, he's dominated a lot of women, especially younger age. It's been pretty hardcore. Curtis, what's your opinion on that?
Well, my opinion is, I think he got what he deserved. The way he's had all them kids on the island, raping them and starving them, and there's a lot more of the government involved with it.
Yeah, there is. It's pretty deep from what I've gathered, which I'm pretty sure you know of. It's a lot worse than just being a pedophile. Which went to the next stage, like if you've ever known the book Simon of Trent that happened in Italy.
Well, I haven't heard that. I just went by what I see on the internet, and Bill Clinton and all them, they probably paid for a lot of that island.
Right.
Oh, you know they did.
With our tax dollars. You know that, don't you? With our tax dollars, they did this.
I mean, I've seen parts of it where them children were shoved down in a cave, you know, not being fed and, of course, being raped every time they turn around. I mean, in my opinion, the man got what he deserved. And that's pretty much the end of that.
Do you think he's dead, though?
Well, of course not. I mean, I'm up here in the North Georgia mountains. I don't really have inside information or anything, but from what I see and what they let us see, he's dead. But you never know. You know how that works.
Yeah, I definitely know how that works. It's not that hard. Anything people say, anything the TV says, people believe. Haven't you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
NBC, they all spread hate, and people join right in because that's what your heart is. You know, you're born into it. You know, born into sin, right? Isn't that what we're told?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like they said, people are trained or being, well, actually, they're just being trained from birth to the government gives us poison and we're glad to take it. That's the way it's usually run. From birth through school, through college, you can see where all these colleges are being indoctrinated into racism and separatism. And, you know, they even, when they graduate, they put white people and black people in separate groups and the LGBT in separate groups and graduate that way. I mean, it's been indoctrinated from up above coming down.
And I thought they outlawed segregation years ago.
They did, but they're bringing it back.
Yeah,
Right.
But I'm the racist, they say, because I'm a white Protestant American that supports Trump.
Yeah.
Baloney.
I vote. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying it's a bunch of baloney.
I mean, that's what I've been seeing and reading, but, you know.
Well, I'm like you. I can kind of show where I get my info from. I've got like different sites. I've been on the web searching for about 13, 14 years now. I've waded through all the you know what's, and which sometimes they can lead you in a good direction because they usually go to those pages and you find out what pages they go to, which is pretty simple, and then you usually find a bunch of good people. But I found out that it's triggered all, which I've got evidence to show you, that a girl, her name is, what is her name here? Let's look real quick then. I'm going to look real quick on here. I'll show it on here. She has evidence of where it goes back to, you know, all the way back to where these people was going to colleges now. All these people that got Epstein and groomed him, they have a new one. Just like he's gone, they've got a new one coming up. It'll be somebody different in some other direction. You know, that's how they work. It's just like drug dealers. Once that one's gone, another pops up. But this guy was going as far back as these people were indoctrinated back at this college. And especially a lot of Jewish people were going there too, which Epstein was, you know, part of that. And the person who got this college going, the two people basically were Aleister Crowley and that lady who started Wicca, that wrote, I forget her name. And it's the College of Theology. And come to find out, they all went to it, if you can understand what I mean. You know, Aleister Crowley, his daughter was Barbara Bush, George W. Bush's wife. You know, people freak out when they hear that, you know.
That's messed up, isn't it?
So it goes on further back now. Let me tell you, with it matched with the Simon of Trent, there's a new word that everybody's going to start hearing, and it's what catches everybody's eye right now. And the word's pedivore, the last word, pedivore, vor on the end this time. And I'm pretty sure you know what a carnivore is, and you know what a pedophile is. You put those two together, and what you have is one of the most, I would say, a pretty hardcore evil person. You know, demon maybe, demon possessed. You think? Wouldn't you think that if that's, you know, what they're doing and they have been doing since before the 1500s?
Yeah, I mean,
it goes back longer than the 1500s, bud.
Well, I know. They got kicked out of Italy, but they didn't kill them back then. See, do you think they stopped just because they kicked them out of their country? No. It's like heroin addiction. You're just addicted to it. Ask any serial killer. He just gets addicted to it after a while. You know, everything has a pattern, no matter what it is, and everything can be worked out with math. Isn't that what we're taught? You know, at least that's, you know. So what's okay? Now, not trying to switch gears. What do you think should happen here now that he's gone, but he still has a black book and he still has all these other people that were dealing with all these other kids? What do you think? And all these important senators and governors and Congress people that they blackmailed, and Johnson & Johnson and all these other major corporations that's been blackmailed by them. What do you think should happen?
Well, I mean, they're going to be looking for the next major players, and you know, I think they'll be looking heavily at the Clintons. I mean, but as far as my information goes, I don't know a lot of the others. I'm sure there's probably hundreds involved in all that.
Well, from what I understand, what I've been researching, there's 61,000 indictments so far ready.
Yeah.
Preacher, what's your closing on some of this while we switch over? Looks like we got somebody just popped in. Looks like it is actually. Gene,
Yeah, how's it going?
what's going on, Gene? Can everybody hear Gene okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, we were just talking about Epstein. We were going over a few things with him, about him. What you being a millennial and all, what do you hear? What is people talking about around, when you mentioned the word Epstein? Do you think that he's dead? Do you think that, they're just going to drop the case? Or are they going to further it on with the madam, like the pimp, like Oprah is, and Naomi Campbell?
We got a running gag as what was it? Something about he was took the Clinton way.
Yeah.
Suicide supposedly. We gag and say, oh, he was Clinton. But then there's also another guy that I know that I work with. He thinks he's John Doe, which is basically the government faked his death because so many people are after him, so he can go to trial. There's two things on that, but either way, we all think, that he's guilty beyond belief and is definitely a key holder of a bunch of information on pedophiles and sex trafficking.
Well, what do you think? What do you think happened to him? Do you think he got strangled in there? He hung himself. There was help. It was a setup. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, if he's dead, then Clinton's definitely got rid of him. Someone did.
Well, a lot of people point towards the Clintons.
Either way, if he's because he had major ties with them. And a lot. There's 15 people associated with the Clintons were all abruptly killed.
He was a Jewish guy. When his funeral was there, they had a whole bunch of Jewish people burying him. This guy was bigwig Jewish person. Okay, he was he knew everybody. On his speed dial was Mick Jagger and a lot of actors, the bigwig actors. These guys were calling him, who you call. Like if you want the best of everything, who do you call if you got all the money to buy it with?
Him, Epstein.
But this guy was pretty hardcore. Hey, we were going to switch. We were talking about that. Kind of, what's your guys' opinion? We'll start off with Preacher on the next president.
What do you mean the next president?
Who do you think it should be? Trump, like the one we've got now? Do you think it should be Yin Yang? Do you think it should be the old pedophile Biden? Who are you picking? I'm pretty sure we all know.
I think Bernie's still running too.
I'm definitely not going to preach for or vote for Creepy Joe. I'm happy with Trump. I've got a job and I'm working. The economy's doing pretty well. If they had a more midline Democrat, I'd be willing to look at that. Trump, I don't agree with everything he says or does. Granted, when it comes politically, I do tend to lean towards the Republican side because I'm a conservative. But if they actually had a halfway decent Democratic candidate who wasn't about the identity politics and was more worried about the state of the country and keeping the country safe, I would be up in the air then. But as of right now, I'm pro-Trump. Keep him in there. Of all the Democratic candidates they got, there's not a single one of them other than Joe Biden that wants to keep private insurance.
Yeah, they want open borders. Open borders, free health care, free college, pay back tuition, and all the reparations for the African Americans.
Yes, I don't think, even in a lot of Democrats that I know, they don't even agree with reparations and stuff like that. Some of them, hey, if this was like a world, I'm a big Trekkie, but if this was like a Star Trek universe where money didn't matter, we didn't really use currency or anything, I could understand universal free healthcare. But you know what? It's not, and somebody's got to pay for it. I'm a taxpayer. I mean, I guess to me, that's my white privilege. I go to work and I pay taxes.
Right.
You know, I mean, it sounds good and all, but somebody's got to pay for it, and I think the government already takes enough of my money. I never see where they work the 40, 50 hours a week with me.
Yeah. What's your opinion, Brian?
Well, I'm sort of with the preacher there. I'm a Trump voter. I think he's doing an excellent job, building up our economy, rebuilding our military,
Right.
fixing the vets so they can go anywhere now and go to the doctor instead of waiting in a line and possibly dying waiting in line. I think he's doing a great job there. And as far as the Democrats go, every time they get up on that stage and tell what they want, I wouldn't vote for any one of them. I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't even vote if they was the only ones I had to vote for.
Exactly.
Because,
Amen.
I mean, they. It seems like they're against what we want. Like that free health care issue. That's not going to happen. There's no way that can happen. It would put this country under. And as far as they want to sort of take our guns eventually. You can see it in the writing. I mean, there's just no way. The way they're out there talking, like I said, I just wouldn't vote for any of them. I'm still going to vote for Trump the next term, and that's just about the way I feel about it.
I don't disagree with you. Hey, Sean, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, I side with the other two for the most part. Definitely a big Trump supporter. Probably vote for him again next year.
If you had what's your opinion on what the Democrats have to offer, and what would you want them to offer if you wanted to vote Democrat?
Well, I mean, I probably won't ever vote Democrat, but
Exactly. Good answer.
Hold up, we're going to talk about free health care because there is you have a mistaken on free health care because if you actually look at records at the debt to ratio of people that don't pay their health care bills that gets bought out by the government, which has been paid through by tax dollars, is actually pretty high. So, I mean, we're already paying free health care. You pay it every month to Medicaid. I mean, it's already something we're taxed on already. It just needs reforms at how they do it. It's like the country needs reformed on their whole fucking hierarchy on how they have everything status. We pay jobs to some city workers that really shouldn't even have a job for what they do. Some of the stuff that we create jobs for is kind of bogus, and we could put it in. We could shift it a different way. I mean, you can shift people here and there, and just to where you have jobs in one area and move them to a different area. So everything can be positioned around to make things work better. It's all about who's doing what, I guess. But there is a big deficit created by the debt in healthcare already. So.
Well, they want free college and pay back tuition.
I don't agree to free college. I don't even know why they're so expensive anyway. They're overpriced, just like movie actors and musicians.
Right.
It's all about where you want to put the money.
Okay, not to try to switch too much gears, keep it in the kind of a politic realm. What's your opinion of the like these Omar and and Tlaib, Rashada Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, with her marrying her brother, so on and so forth, trying to get in, and in part of the Muslim League, and also her deal is to the Quran. just as a Jewish guy, a Zionist Jewish, his legion is to Israel, you know.
Well, I
And they
mean,
both hate each
America,
other.
we
You know.
already have a constitution that was written by our founding fathers, and I mean, we really shouldn't stray from that or really try to deviate that how we have it set up.
All right.
Because that's what our country was founded on and made upon. I mean, we left our country. Mexico can say whatever they want about owning America. They never owned it once. Spain owned it and sold it to us, just like the French sold us the other half. So, I mean, we all came to America, had our portion that we stole from the Indians. America was created by buying Spain's portion and French's portion, and Mexico got their freedom from Spain. So, either way, I'm straight with the border down south. Canada's cool up north, so as long as we stick with that, we'll be good.
Right. Brian, what's your opinion?
Well, I think you're spot on. What he was saying is spot on with some of them. As far as the Omar Mariner brother, I don't even think she should be in any part of politics.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, they should eject her and the other ones. I can't remember their names right now, but there's 4 of them. Ocasa and all them. She needs to go back to bartending. And the other ones, like right now, they're bashing Israel. No, Israel's our sister country. I mean, we've got to protect that. And I think Netanyahu did the right thing from banning them from going back over there and trying to smash Israel. So, you know, I think people that bash the United States that's in our Democratic parties or any place in our democracy needs to step down and get out. If they got bad things to say about our own country, they don't need to be in there.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Preacher, what's your opinion on that?
You talking about Omar and
Yeah.
what's the other one's name? That's how much I know or I pay attention to them too. But I mean, like what's his name said there? Israel did the right thing by barring them. Yeah. Israel did the right thing by barring them too. I don't think they have any place in American politics.
Right.
Everybody in the world can call Trump racist, but these 2 ladies are racist. That's all there is to it. They are racist. They're radical Muslims as far as I'm concerned. And I'm a Christian. I have a couple Muslim friends that are actually pretty cool dudes. You know, man, I could sit there and hang out with them. You know, they do their thing. I don't care. I don't care what religion anybody believes. I believe in freedom of religion.
Right.
But these 2 girls, they really want to seek out the destruction, total and utter destruction of another country. And that's really their main goal. I mean, in the Quran they talk about, or I don't know if it's actually specifically in the Quran, but in Islam they talk about how they want all the Jews of the world to gather in Israel so they can wipe them out all at once. And that's what these 2 girls want. They can deny it all they want to, but you can look at all the anti-Semitic tweets and everything that they've said. I mean, I've learned about them is through just watching YouTube videos, news channels, and stuff.
Right.
It's to me, it's really sad seeing how. To me, it's really sad seeing the division in our media over it, because they can say something absolutely horrific about a person of another religion, and on a left-leaning channel, I've actually seen 2 or 3 of the left-leaning channels, or 2 or 3 of the hosts on left-leaning channels, kind of say, you know, hey, they shouldn't really be doing this, but then they have to backpedal on it or they lose their job. But then you see on our right-leaning channels, like on Tucker Carlson, he don't freaking give them no slack.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I think Israel was great in telling them not to come, because they wasn't even trying to come to Israel. They put down application to come that they wanted to visit Palestine, and Palestine isn't even a recognized country. I mean, you can check UN stats or whatever, but it's not a real official country. It's an area of Israel that Israel controls.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think what is it? It's Michigan and Montana, I believe they're from, or not Montana.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Minnesota.
Too.
Minnesota's
another one. They're in all of them.
Yeah, I think those two girls, whenever election comes up, they're really going to be sweating because I don't think they're going to win again.
No, they got there's some people out to take their positions as we speak right now. I think it's going to really turn out pretty good. Like you guys were all talking about, we don't have any room for that. This is America. This isn't Afghanistan, where if they had Sharia law implemented now with what they want to destroy all Jewish people, of course, all white people, all Americans. They want to convert them over to Muslim, and if you don't convert, they kill you. And if you're right now, if you go over to the country non-Muslim in a Muslim country, he's allowed to kick you outside your house while he grabs your wife and can do whatever he wants to your kids, sell them off, whatever he wants, because that's
and if he screws your wife, it's not rape unless there's 2 or 3 other, and it has to be men to say that he raped her.
Yeah. Yeah. They just changed the law in one Muslim country in Asia that the men can't come screaming that name 3 times for a divorce because they kept doing that and divorcing their wives. They just marry him for a little bit, then they'd get mad and divorce them and go find another one. Right in the middle of the street, they just say the name 3 times and they're divorced in front of other people, of men, that is. Yeah, it's now. Sean, what's your closing statement on that? What's your opinion of kind of what you hear from everybody? What do you think the solution? What do you think kind of a realistic solution is like for what people can do in order to get rid of this type of infestation?
Oh man, that's to be politically correct on that answer.
I'm telling you.
But I mean, first off, you got to get them out of power. Get better people in there. I mean, and all you can do is just really expose what they're doing and their true motives, and just try and shout it at the top of their lungs, get people to listen to it. That's about the most political way to get it done right.
Right. Brian, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, down here where I live, if you have any of that nastiness come around here, mainly the people will take care of it. But as far as doing it right as a country, you got to vote some of these people out of here that hate our own country. We can't let that stand. We have to get rid of it. I mean, I know Trump. You know, like when the president is elected president, and he gets to fire anybody in there that he deems that he don't need or is necessary. I mean, if I was president, I would clean house. I mean, a lot of them folks like that would be gone. But you got to vote. People just got to wake up, realize what's going on, and vote these people out of here.
Yeah, I agree. Preacher, what's your closing opinion on that?
My opinion on that is tell people this is America and we need to keep America, America. Explain to people freedoms. Explain to people the Constitution. We need to put civics class back in school, teaching people the founding basis that this country was built upon. They don't teach civics in school anymore. They want to teach sociology and transgenderology or whatever the heck it is. I don't know. But we just need to explain to people, it's okay. Believe whatever you want to believe. If you want to hate someone. But when you're a person in a public office, something like that, and I crack on Trump on this, like his send them back tweets. I wasn't a big fan of that. I don't think it was racist. It was borderline, I mean, but we just need to get people to realize, what you're voting in the office is, when you're voting someone into office, you're voting for our future. And when you're voting for someone, you're not voting for the entire world. You're voting for your little district that you live in.
Right.
That's like me. Whenever I vote for, I don't care if he was Democrat or Republican. Actually, the best representative we've had in my district was a Democrat.
Right.
Me at a voting age, I would vote for him in a heartbeat because he represented our district. Don't worry about the rest of the country. Vote for you and your area and what you believe in.
Right. Exactly.
Vote for American values.
There you go. I agree with that 100%. And on that, fellas, I want to thank you guys for all showing up. And I'm going to try to do this. No, we'll try to do this again. We'll be more people because this was just a spur of the moment. This is a test podcast, and I greatly appreciate everybody showing up. And I'll catch you guys on the next flop. We'll probably do, another couple of good topics and kind of finish up on this maybe in the next few days if you guys want. But I'll text you and thank you. This is Underground News Network, the Gene and AJ podcast show. I'd like to thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later, dude.